Hello and welcome back to Fair City Gaming. I'm your host Kev, and we're back with some more Dark Souls. So in the last video we got the Covenant of Artorias, which will allow us to traverse the Abyss. So let's get to that then. I'll change up my pyromancies on the off chance that we do somehow manage to get this area done in one go. Chaos Storm's not going to be any use to me. Also, we'll level up our pyromancy flame because I don't want to carry too many souls down there.
Why? What spectacular pyromancy? Tell me about it. I have never seen anything like it.
Now, if you do tell him about it, he goes off in search of it, and he goes hollow, and we don't want that.
I suppose I was mistaken. In any case, I definitely trust you.
Apologies, my friend. Forget that I said anything.
One of the very few that you can actually save. There. I might as well. Might as well just purchase all of these.
Goodbye then. Come back if you find it.
Yes. Now if you speak to that dude again after Kingseeker Frampt appears, he will go hollow down in the new Londo ruins as well. Pretty much interacting with NPCs, completing their quest lines, almost always leads to them hollowing. We don't want that. So they're no distance. I've only got 4. Bloody ghosts. Piss off, ghost. Want to change back out of that. Sure. Do just now. Well, there's a couple of bodies and some jars littered about the place. So unfortunately when you die, your transient curse, if you have one activated, expires. Because of course it does. It doesn't last infinitely, it will last 5 minutes. So you want to leave it as long as possible before activating. They cannot be parried or backstabbed. Conversely, they can't parry you or backstab you, but they were never going to try. So we'll bring them back this way. Not this time. Now, being ghosts, they can come through walls, and they will. There's a lot of sneak attacks that you're susceptible to while you're here. Probably should have upgraded our Estus flask over back at Ireland. I dare say we're going to be back that way before too long. As you can see, this place has been flooded, and we will need to find a way to drain that water away. I know where we're going. I'm dropping them plenty today. It's a trap. Where are you going? Honestly. That grab attack only grabs you if the daggers reach just behind your head. Ah, and his friend sneaks through the wall there. Perfect. So the grab attack, you can actually walk forward and avoid it completely. You can roll sideways. Since I've remembered this time. Select that. And this should mean that when we use our Estus, no matter how low our health is now, it should refill us to full. So we're going to attempt to just run through this time. So we've got a good few transient curses. Unfortunately, while you're using transient curses that act as a personal buff, you can only have one personal buff active at a time. So I also can't use my power within. We can't use our green blossom to increase our stamina regeneration, and a series of other spells and things that we no longer have access to until the buff expires. May have bitten off more than ghosties everywhere. Ah. I really hate this area. Once you unlock the shortcut, it becomes much more manageable. Up the stairs. Preventing sneak attacks. It's not a terribly rare drop, but you want to do whatever you can to boost the numbers. Especially if you're going to be using a lot of them, which we are. Risky. Not today, Satan. That's nothing that we're any use for, and there's a ghost out that way. More transient curses. So we've got a banshee here. As well as the standard ghost moveset, she also has a projectile lightning attack, which is infuriating. It's a shortcut that we'll need. Okay. Probably going to regret this. Come this way, and that lures most of the ghosts out of there. There's a few. So if we keep this equipped while we're exploring, it'll let us know when our transient curse expires, so that we don't end up leaving ourselves wide open to sneak attacks from ghosts that we can't defend ourselves from. Similar to the trick of keeping the white soapstone equipped, so you know when you're being invaded. They're not dangerous, just sneaky. That will help us if we ever come up against anything that dispels, that uses curse, and one of the lords has that in their arsenal, so that'll be handy. Run in here. If you don't explore the exterior a little bit beforehand, this room becomes swarmed with all of those ghosties from before. And that kind of sneak attack happens. Very underhanded. You can also see that we're no longer under the effect of the transient curse. So we'll fix that. Seems like they're going to leave us alone now. Hey pal.
Well, this is a surprise. I get few visitors. Save for ghosts. You have the Lord Vessel. Very impressive. I know exactly what your intentions are. You seek the four kings whom I guard over. This is the key to the seal.
Why, thank you.
The four kings slumber in the deepest chamber of the ruins. Use this key to break the seal and open the floodgates. Oh, and do not forget, the dark wraiths reside in a dark void called the Abyss. But the Abyss is no place for ordinary mortals. Although, long ago, the knight Artorius traversed the Abyss. If you can find him and learn from him, the Abyss may prove surmountable.
That's your only clue to go and get that ring from Artorius.
Hello there. What is it? The key to the seal is now in your hands. I will help you in any way possible.
So this guy will heal you of curse if you happen to be afflicted by it, at the cost of 1 humanity. He also sells the transient curses very, very cheap in comparison to the other locations we can get it, and spell resist curse. Neither of them are particularly handy to us at the moment.
New Londo was sacrificed to contain the Dark Wraiths. Mark my words, the Dark Wraiths are the enemies of man and any living thing that has a soul. They were never meant to roam again.
So yeah, the people he represented flooded this place to contain the Dark Wraiths and the enemies that we seek. Which suggests power if they were willing to sacrifice an entire city. we're going to free them. Oh. Piss off, ghost. And that is the end. Can't even see them because of the darkness. One of those dark wraiths is down there. We'll come back to him. 'Cause as well as the boss down here, there's something else that we're after. Do not want to get caught in that combo. Especially not at this level. Sheesh. They drop Titanite chunks, which is the next level of upgrade material. And on incredibly rare occasions, they have been known to drop Titanite slabs. But it is very, very rare. Susceptible to parrying and backstabbing, like most humanoid enemies. Want to drop in first. Aim higher. That thing can spit mass of whatever the hell that is. Limits your Estus recovery. And it's just generally unpleasant. Return of the exploding floaty heads from the catacombs. And that's the end of that. floaty heads still here, along with another dark wraith. Trigger that and run away. Now that combo is part of a 4-hit combo that you do not want to get stuck in. And when his hand lit up there, you also don't want to get hit by that. So it does ridiculous damage, but it also drains you of a humanity. Come over here! Oh, unfortunate timing. Ah, no matter. I don't know if the critical bonus that I would get would be worth offsetting the extra poise that I get, so I'll just have to leave that. So the giant pus monster thing doesn't respawn, but these dudes do, which makes for some excellent farming. Providing they actually want to drop anything for you. It's obviously a big proviso. Don't want to find yourself surrounded by these guys. They are best taken on solo. Knew that was going to happen. Now you can parry all of their attacks apart from their kick and their grab, but the rapid combo, it's very prone to stun locking you, so it's really high risk, even more so than normal. And with them being able to two-shot us as well, any parry is really a risky one. So the easiest one to parry is that running lunge that they do, and if you're able to soak up the first hit from the double combo that he does, you can parry the second one quite easily as well. Junk will do. Now your drop rates are actually affected by your soft humanity, which we have 6 of at the moment. When it gets up to 10, and you have this gold ring of the gold serpent ring on as well, that's going to max out your item discovery rate. And you're much more likely to get rare item drops. Enemies that drop items drop more of them more often. And it's basically designed for these kind of dudes that you know drop high level loot. That's what you're looking for. What we've come for is this. And we're just gonna pussy out with that. Gonna run up and buy a couple more homeward bones, because we have actually only got one left. And they're pretty handy. Mostly when you're being lazy. We'll take 19. We'll not need as many as that. We'll take 19. Thanks. Now we'll quickly run and see Andre and see if we can't level up our weapon a bit more. Right. Everyone's favourite blacksmith.
Well, I'll be. That's a brilliant ember you've got there. For all my years in the trade, that might be the finest. How's about you leave that ember with me? I'm just an old smith. I'd give my left arm for a gem like that. Well,
Use your arm then.
thank you mightily for that. Now, just leave the rest to me. Andre of Astora gets the job done, you shall see.
Yes, we will. So we're just going to leave our shield just now because I think it's only every second level it improves its stability. Basically as good as we can really get it. The damage from this, all the difference. We need one more chunk. Righty-o.
Go get yourself night.
Yeah. Actually,
Well, I'll need it.
so I'm trying to think what magic defense. It's twinkling titan. That's nice. Don't really want to be using that. It's very expensive. think the dingy stuff has really good magic. Yeah. Tattered cloth isn't too bad either, mind you. The next boss does solely magic damage, they actually do no physical damage at all. So we want to have as much magic defense as possible. Some people go with just the heaviest armor you can find, which is generally Havel's armor, but that massively reduces your rolling potential. I don't like that, so I'm thinking we'll go with Bloodstained Skirt, because we've already got that. Take that to 6, is it? Yeah, not waste a chunk on it. And that's Twinkling as well, is it? I'll just be leaving that then. Level this up, because yeah, it's already the same kind of level as the other stuff. And 17. Well, I can't upgrade that, but it's already higher, so we'll go with that, I think.
Don't get yourself neither of...
Let's see if we can equip all that and be able to roll. I guess we could just
Well,
level
I
them up.
need it.
This grants us some poise. A lot of people will tell you that leveling up the armor is pointless, but I quite like it. If you find a set that works for you, you might as well stick at it. Right, we are as good at to go as we are going to be. Just try to think if there was a way I could use up some of my souls or my humanity, but not really any that I can think of. Short of going human, and we don't really want to do that for this fight. It's not beneficial. Ugh. There's a couple of ways of getting to the boss as quickly as possible. None of them are particularly advised if you don't know your way around the area. So when you get to the top of these ladders, if you've lost any health, this is your first safe point. As long as you don't stop there, you're safe. Don't do that. That's not what we wanted to do. So that's an Estus that we didn't want to have to use, but no matter. If you haven't activated a transient curse to fight those ghosts, roll off to the left and go down these stairs a little. They won't follow you. If you stay at the doorway, they can still hit you. You can just drop down the middle chamber here, but if you catch any of these little bits sticking out, you can die. Alley up. Ugh. Staggered. Getting staggered in this fight will probably result in your death. And that is why a lot of people prefer to use the heavier armor sets, and you can just stand and trade blows with them. We don't actually, I don't think we have a high enough health to warrant that. Though after a couple of failed attempts, I dare say we'll be trying it. That fight is all about damage per second, or DPS. After a fixed amount of time, a second king will appear. And then, again after the set time, a third will join the fight. And I believe you can have as many as up to 6, despite the fact that they're called the 4 kings, much to everyone's dismay. You really don't want that fight, because you don't want any fight really developing into a 6-on-1. If you don't activate a transient curse, every single hit from a ghost will stagger you. I don't know why, but that area has always lagged. Not quite max, but not far off. Now you can run down through the doorway here, or you can try the no guts, no glory dive to there. There we go. Heal up. This is one of the very rare occasions where being right in front of a boss is actually one of your favourite places to be. Except in that instance. If you only get, if you're right in front of them, their melee attacks do much reduced damage, which is obviously a huge help. That outrageous grab attack that they have, that thing's pretty much a guaranteed one-hit kill. Don't want to be getting hit by that. So I think we'll try the heavy armor approach this time. Because of that, we change up our shield, because we'll not be blocking. So we'll just go for that for stamina regen. Because if you become over encumbered like what we're going to be when we use this heavy armor, your stamina regens much slower, and that's the last thing you need when you're fighting a DPS boss. Need to be careful with that fall, because if you fall off this side, and that's down into the depths and you die. If you go the other side, you can survive that. Health isn't worth replenishing at the moment. Don't want to waste the Estus if we don't have to. So the idea there is to draw the ghosts up to you away from this doorway, which is why I prefer that shortcut to the way that many other players use. So most players will drop down where we were fighting the Dark Wraiths and run up through that church. There's at least 3 Dark Wraiths that you can trigger, and 6 different ghosts that you can come up against. No dice. Right, well, let's see how we get on. See if we notice much of a difference. Prepare for stagger. Get rid of that, and that. What we doing? Oh. Yep. This is not going our way. Just like with Smough and his hammer charge attack, sometimes they'll go entire playthroughs without using it. But in my case, they always seem to make an exception. Though we did see a noticeable difference in the damage we took. Might just try my own traditional fast rolling approach. Much prefer. I will try a faster swinging weapon. Drop. Bugger off. So the advantage of our souls being dropped there is we know roughly what direction we're going in. Heal. Heal again. Ah. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it there. Hopefully, get them done next time. Well, thank you very much for checking out the video. Be sure to check us out on fcpod.net and YouTube for any upcoming videos as well. Thanks very much. I've been Kev, and this has been Fair City Gaming.